Hello everyone and welcome to today's IELTS speaking class. My name is Alex and I'm joined today by Tanya. So let me just bring you in. How are you doing, Tanya?
Hi, Alex. Hi
Hi.
there. Nice to see you.
Nice to
It's
see you
been a
too.
little while.
It has. It's been a few months, right?
It's been a little while. It's been a hectic, crazy few months.
Yeah.
Lots of nurse recruitment here in the US.
Wow. But a successful time.
Very, very successful. Many nurses getting amazing opportunities and jobs right now. The US is very short of nurses, as everybody knows, and there are some incredible opportunities for direct hire all over the US.
Wonderful, wonderful. And yeah, I've been hearing lots of really good success stories as well in terms of nurses who've been able to achieve that and go on to the US.
Oh my goodness, yes. I think we've had more people passing the IELTS than I've seen in all the many years that I've been doing this.
Wow.
And we've had some really incredible success stories lately.
So I was mentioning a student who took the IELTS on six occasions, and then finally on that sixth occasion they were able to achieve that goal. A real story of persistence and just determination, really.
Incredible. Well, a few months ago we had Bert. I think he took it 7 times, and then when he came to us, he did the course and he passed on the 8th time, which was incredible. And then more recently, and these are just some of the we've had many people passing, but just some of the ones that of nurses that have struggled and then have eventually passed. But there was Francis recently. Francis took it 5 times. And then he passed on the 6th. So incredible story of, when he came to us to do the course, and he got a 9 in listening, an 8 in reading, and a 7.5 overall.
Wow. That's impressive. You don't often hear 9s.
5 times before he came to do the course. So Alex, what is it? Are you working some magic here?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's great to see people getting involved, and you do see people really putting it out there, because I know that some students, they can be a little bit nervous, but they realize that this is their opportunity. This is the time to really push for it and to really get involved. And the more that students get involved, the more that we can do in terms of giving them feedback and guidance. And clearly this is useful. Clearly this is helping.
Yeah. It's really working. I mean, today, I know Jennifer did an IELTS Hero interview. Her name was June. I think she also, she took it 4 times and now she passed after doing the course. So, I mean, just phenomenal results. So congrats on that. Obviously it's not a magic wand for anybody who's watching and struggling with the IELTS. You have to do the work. There's just there's no easy way around it. There's no magic fix. But with the right guidance and the right content and the right material and the right mindset, success is really there in your hands.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's getting towards that destination as well. And I think we see that with the students who are able to reflect and to use the advice and guidance we can provide and to really work on those elements in order to get to improve going forward. Yeah, that's where the success comes from, I think.
Well, I don't want to keep you from your class, Alex. I just wanted to pop in and say hi to everybody. Thank you for joining us in this class. We are very grateful to Alex and the Swoosh team for giving your time and your input and helping so many nurses. And we're very excited for everybody who is looking forward to coming to the US, because really there is no better time than now. So if you have not yet passed your NCLEX exam, if you have not yet passed your IELTS exam, please get to it. We have literally thousands of direct hire positions in the US right now, and it's waiting for you.
Brilliant. Well, wonderful to see you, Tanya, and it's really inspiring and motivating as well, I'm sure, for all the students that are watching to move towards those goals. So, yeah.
Perfect. We'll have a great class.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Okay, so yeah, let's move forward then, guys. Let's take advantage of the time that we have now and your dedication and your commitment in order to get the best results that we can going forwards. So let's see who's joined us in the class already. I can see that we've been joined by Nisha. Hello to you, Nisha. And Madhu as well has joined us in the class. And Marius has joined us too. So if you're watching live on YouTube or Facebook, then please, just like Nisha, Madhu, and Marius, say hi. Let me know where you are watching from. And there will be questions throughout the class today, opportunities to get involved. There will be speaking practice as well. So the more active and the more that you participate in the class, the more that we'll all get from it. So I look forward to seeing as much participation as possible. So I can see that Pamela is watching us on YouTube. Hello to you, Pamela. And Jessie is watching as well. It's evening time where you are, Jessie. Where are you at the moment? Jessie's watching us on YouTube. Marius is in London, and Tamsin is watching us on Facebook, as is Josh as well on Facebook. Hello to all of you. We've been joined live in the class as well by Eric, Eagle, Alice, and Angela. So a very warm welcome to you. Joy is watching from Nigeria. Hello, Joy. And we have, so Josh is watching from the Philippines. Welcome to you, Josh. And we've got Madhu, who is watching from Sri Lanka. Rajani is joining us on Facebook. Hello, Rajani. And Ross is here watching us from Saudi Arabia. So great to see all of you involved in the class today. Okay, so what I want to look at in terms of the focus for today's class is at an element of grammar. So I will be looking at particularly an area which can cause confusion for students, which is countable and uncountable nouns. So let's have a look at this together. Okay. So when it comes to using these, it can be tricky. Sorry, just before I look at that, for those who do wish to get involved directly in the class, and I can see there are comments relating to that, wanting to join us in terms of doing speaking, you can do so, but part of the support that we would offer related to this is with the IELTS scholarship program. So if you are looking to live and work in the US as a nurse, and you're looking for the support that we can provide you, such as live speaking practice and lots of other support as well, then click on the link in the chat box in order to receive that support and guidance. You can also see the details for that on the screen now. And you could receive all of this support potentially for free. Okay, so as I was saying then, what I wanted to look today at was an element of grammar, and it's related to uncountable nouns. So this is something that I've noticed students can struggle with sometimes. Let's have a look at an example of how students can struggle in this area. So can you spot the mistake that the candidate has made below? So here is the examiner. The examiner is asking the question, what benefits has social media provided? And the candidate says, well, I think there are a few. One is that we now have many more information than before. So a mistake has occurred. Can anybody recognize what the mistake is? Okay, so Eagle has seen this. Informations is a mistake. Okay, Marius is asking about the scholarship program. So Marius, if you click on the link, which you can see at the bottom of the screen, then you can find out more information about the scholarship program. So click on that link in order to find out more. So Jessie has also noticed, yeah, information's good. Yeah, information is not correct. We shouldn't use this in the plural form because it is an uncountable noun. So what the candidate should have said in response is, Well, I think there are a few. One is that we now have much more information than before. So because information is uncountable, we should use the determiner much, not many. So that's another element as well of grammar where mistakes are made. If we use an uncountable noun incorrectly, we'll also use other elements of grammar incorrectly, such as in this case, using many instead of much. So good. Many of you were able to recognize that information is uncountable. However, information, of course, is not the only uncountable noun in English. So let's have a look here at a list. Here are a list of nouns. What I want you to do is to tell me which of these nouns are uncountable. What do we think out of this list? So we've got 10 nouns in this list. Which of these nouns are uncountable? Let me know in the comments if you've got the answer. Okay, so Alan's asking, I have a Connecticut scholarship. How can I join the one-to-one speaking class? So Alan, if you contact support at Swoosh English, then they will be able to help you with this. So yeah, just contact support and they will be able to guide you in terms of joining the speaking class. Send an email. Okay, so Tilda is saying advice, news, housing. Okay, good. Any others? Eagle says news. Louis also says news. Jesse says furniture. Jesse also says suitcase. Eagle says advice. Okay. Yeah, furniture has come up as well. Okay. We've got a few suggestions here. So yeah, furniture is coming up with quite a few people. Right, well, here we are then. So the answers in terms of the nouns which are uncountable, they're in bold. So advice is uncountable, as is news. Accommodation is uncountable. Housing is also uncountable. Furniture and luggage. So suitcase, gadget, update, suggestion are countable. We can use them in the plural form, but we cannot use these other nouns in the plural form. They are uncountable. Just note that with news, it looks like a plural because it has an S at the end, but it's actually an uncountable noun. It's one of the very few nouns in English which end with an S, but are uncountable. So it's important to know, of course, which nouns are countable, which are uncountable, so we can use them correctly. Let's, can we think of any others? Are there any other examples of uncountable nouns that you are aware of? Obviously, there's quite a few with food and drink, but do we know any other uncountable nouns? Let me know in the chat box if there are other ones that you know that you can share with us today. Music, says Eagle. Art, yes. Yeah, music and art are usually used uncountably, as is love. Happiness is another. Yeah, so these are the sorts of words that are abstract nouns. Quite a lot of abstract nouns are uncountable. Yep, good suggestions, Eagle. Equipment, says Tilda. Yep, that's a good one. Water, yep, lots, says Ramya, lots of liquids tend to be uncountable. Good. Yeah, okay, good. Another one which is quite common is money. So sometimes money confuses people because this is uncountable as well. Abstract, says Sophia. Travel, yeah, good. Those are two good ones, Sophia. Abstract, travel, and yeah, advice, which we have in the list as well. Okay. So just as a final activity before we do some speaking practice, I want you to see if you can find mistakes in the following sentences. So you can see that we've got 5 sentences here. There are mistakes in each one with the use of uncountable nouns. Can anyone tell me what the mistakes are? Okay. So for number 1, we've got advisors. Yep, it's clearly a mistake. We shouldn't be using the plural with advice. Sophia says, thank you for the live lessons. You're very welcome, Sophia. Thank you for coming. Accommodations is incorrect as well for number 3. Yep, that is correct. Any other comments? New. So watching a new is incorrect. Good. Can you see any other mistakes? Are there any mistakes that you can see that have been caused by using an uncountable noun as if it were a countable noun? Yeah, so Uche says you don't say new. That's right. Not unless it's being used as an adjective. Yeah, certainly not as a noun. We can't say new. Good. Yeah, so we're recognizing quite a few of us are recognizing errors with the first 3. What about 4 and 5? Can anyone see mistakes in sentences 4 and 5? Let's see. 4 and 5 are correct? No, 4 and 5 are not correct. There are mistakes with 4 and 5 as well. Yeah, a furniture. So we can't say a furniture because if we have a noun which is uncountable, we can't use the indefinite article. We can't use a or un with an uncountable noun. We only use a or un if the noun is countable. And Tamsin has noticed as well that for number 4, we can't say 1 luggage because, again, if it's not countable, we can't say 1 luggage or 2 luggages. Yeah, this would be incorrect. So let's just confirm then on the mistakes with these sentences. So for number 1, it should obviously be advice. I often give advice, not advices, because it's uncountable. So we shouldn't be using the plural form. For number 2, I was watching the news, not a new. So we can't use the indefinite article a because it's uncountable, and it's always news. It's uncountable. It has an S, but it's uncountable. So we never use new. That's it, the incorrect word. Number 3, so accommodation. But remember, if it's uncountable, we should use much, not many. So we need to change that as well. Much accommodation. For number 4, we could change this to make it correct by using 1 piece of luggage. So we can use a noun phrase with an uncountable noun in order to make it grammatically correct. And for number 5, rather than we can use any. So I don't have any furniture. We shouldn't use the indefinite article, but we can use any in a negative sentence with an uncountable noun. So if you're making mistakes with these sorts of words, then do pay attention to that. As a final tip on this, you should note down any uncountable nouns that you make mistakes with during your speaking practice, and practice making sentences with the uncountable nouns in order to help you remember the correct grammar. Sentences such as these ones that we just looked at, obviously the correct versions, will help us to avoid these errors. So let's do some speaking practice now. We're going to start with part 2. And I'm going to bring one of the students who've joined us live in to do that practice with me. So I'm going to start with Eric. Hi, Eric, are you there?
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Hi. I can hear you, yeah. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Good, good. Glad to hear it. How's your week been so far?
Well, it's great. It's interesting. I had my duty last night, so it's my rest day today.
Good, good, good. So you've had a bit of time to rest and recover and feel fresh. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with part 2, Eric. So you'll have a minute to prepare before speaking on a topic for up to 2 minutes.
Okay.
So let's have a look at the topic. Just before we go on, actually, how do you manage uncountable nouns? Is that something that you feel comfortable with, or something that can cause you problems?
Yeah, it's one of my problems actually, and based on my evaluation with my speaking mock test, I have a problem with my grammar and my lexical resources. So I need to work on that.
Something to work on. Okay, so well, let's have a look today and see how we do. So this is the topic. Can you see that on your screen, Eric?
Yes, yes, I can see it, Alex.
Brilliant. Okay, so you've got a minute to make notes and prepare, and then you should speak on the topic for up to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, Eric, are you ready to begin?
Yes, I'm ready, Alex.
Brilliant. Okay, so please describe a writer who you would like to meet.
Okay. So I would like to talk about the certain person or a writer which I really want to meet in the future, and this is J.K. Rowling. He's one of the writer which is very famous to me because I'm fond of reading uh, um, Harry Potter series, and I also watch the movies. But I am very much um, interested in meeting that writer because I want to know some of other writings that he had, or I want to know some strategies on how to make some stories because I am not into writing. That's one of the hated part of that's one of the things that I really don't like. So I want to take that advantage of asking for an advice or to have a time for me to speak with the writer. And what I know about this one of this particular person is that she made some books that is very interesting to the readers, and as a matter of fact, those books was being converted into movies, wherein a lot I mean teens and other adults becomes more interested. So if I'll be given the chance, it will be an opportunity for me to meet that person, and I think it will be the best time for me to be encouraged, to be inspired more, and to look forward to write or maybe do some books in the future, and that will also make me or a better writer in the future as well.
Okay, thank you very much there, Eric. Nice. J.K. Rowling, nice choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
I,
that J.K. Rowling is female though, right?
Yeah, yes, Alex. Actually, I'm not really into reading. I mean, I don't really like reading too much, and I don't want to spend a lot of time, scanning every page of the book. So
Fair
that's
enough.
one of my weakness, I think. Not familiar
Okay.
with writers or books.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. But yeah, so yeah, it was nice. You managed to develop your ideas in order to keep speaking for around 2 minutes. There was some nice use of linking expressions that you used in there as well. So you were talking about, yeah, given the chance. You were also using other expressions to link your ideas together. Some nice expressions that you use for preferences or non-preferences. You said I'm not into writing, so you expressed that during the talk. And you also used the expression to look forward to, again, which is a colloquial expression. But if you use to look forward to, you should always use the gerund verb form afterwards. So to look forward to writing is the
Okay,
form that you should use. Yeah. So it's nice that you're using expressions to look forward to, but we should use writing in that case. Um,
okay.
yeah. So you changed the gender of the reason I said that the author is
I'm
female.
sorry. Yeah, I, you know, To be honest, Alex, I really don't know if the gender of J.K. Rowling.
So it is. She is female. She is female. Yeah. So we
Yeah,
started off
yeah.
male, and then yeah,
That's
and
why I
then went
keep on
female.
I'm telling that person or that writer because I don't know how to address him or her.
Okay. So if you're
Yeah.
in that situation, then be consistent. So if you keep saying he, then it
Mm,
shows, okay, maybe you don't have the knowledge, but at least then it doesn't seem like it's a grammar mistake. But if you change
okay.
from he to she, then it seems like the
Okay.
problem is with the grammar. So whichever you do, just stay consistent because
Okay.
yeah, you won't be punished for making a factual error, but yeah,
Uh,
but if you're making grammatical errors, then that can reflect in your score. So yeah.
I
Um,
think
no worries. And yeah, countable and uncountable, Eric. You talked about an advice. You said, yeah, that he or she could give me an advice, but we established advice is uncountable. So some advice or just advice. Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, we shouldn't use the indefinite article or an with uncountable nouns. So
Okay.
um, yeah, there you go. You can review the beginning of the lesson today just to help that to stay in your consciousness. Just a final thing on vocabulary. You said that some of the books have been converted into movies. So the
Okay.
meaning there is clear, but the term we'd usually use is adapted, to adapt a
Okay.
book into a film or into a
Okay.
movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but otherwise, yeah, some really good stuff there, Eric. So the fact you were able to keep developing and talking for 2 minutes, the way you linked your ideas together, your pronunciation was very clear as well. That was definitely a strength in your speaking. So there's some good stuff in there. But yeah, just keep on working on those grammatical
Okay.
elements in
Okay.
order to continue making improvements.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
thank you very much, Eric. Enjoy the rest
Yeah.
of your
Thank
day.
you.
Cheers.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to bring Eagle into the class next for our next practice. And let me do that now. Hi there, Eagle.
Hi, good evening, good morning.
Good, good. Well, it's afternoon here. It's evening where you are, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's quite late. How's your week been today? Or I should say this week. How's your week been so far?
I'm still studying the, the IELTS.
Still studying. Yeah, showing that persistence.
Yes, of
Have you
course.
got an exam booked anytime soon?
Yeah, next week.
Wow, so soon. Okay. Well, best of luck going into the exam. Do you feel prepared, Eagle?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah? Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, so we're going to move on to a different topic now. And the topic we're going to move on to is an important item. So can you see this topic on your screen?
Yeah, I can see.
Brilliant. Okay, so you've got a minute to prepare, Eagle, and then you should speak about it for up to 2 minutes. Okay, are you ready to begin, Eagle?
Yes.
Okay, great. So please describe an item that is important to your family.
Okay, I would like to share today about an important item that my family want to share, and of course to give value much about that kind of thing. So it was an antique decorative like a frame, and we have also other metalware that my grandmother usually uh, actually kept for so long. I mean, so it was important for the family because it came from our ancestors, and and we usually give much important about that kind of thing. And I know that my family uh, usually give much important about having that kind of antique items in our family, and it was inherited from my ancestor, and I think that I was glad that actually see the specific items within our family. So I actually realized that having that kind of item within the family is essential for us uh, to see the having the much value, or even giving other um, I think importance and this specific item, and I think it is a sentimental value that was given by to my grandmother, and
Okay,
I
thank you very much there, Eagle. So yeah, there we go. We got to the 2 minutes there. You gave some nice use of vocabulary in there, so very much related to the topic. So, and good pronunciation as well. Antique, metalware, ancestors, sentimental value. So yeah, you get a lot of credit for that. Inherited as well. So lots of vocabulary which is relevant to the topic. And your ideas were generally clear. I think the issue though was there was quite a lot of hesitation. It seemed like, because there was some repetition of ideas. So you repeated the expression, you said give importance, give importance. Just say the expression should be give importance. So we should use the noun form. Give much importance, I think was the expression you were using. So there's a bit of repetition, and also actually, so, you know, that's fine, but it was being repeated on a few occasions. So I think you want to reduce that hesitation and repetition in order to increase your fluency score during the test. And it seemed that you were building up actually towards the end. It seemed like more ideas were coming, but it was just taking you a while to get into the flow. So yeah, it's important to start quickly, obviously, with this section of the exam, because you've got those 2 minutes, and within those 2 minutes, either you will demonstrate a good level of fluency or you won't. So just beware of that. In the exam, you want to start strong, have as little hesitation as possible. Some ideas that you could have included to avoid hesitation, you could have maybe described the item a little bit more in terms of maybe the color, the size, where you got it from. Is it a heavy item? Is it a light item? How old is it? You said you got it from your ancestors. How many of your ancestors previously had it? How many years does it go back? So those sorts of details would give you more things to talk about and would just help to reduce the hesitation, because obviously the more you've got to say, the less that you will hesitate. So
okay.
just bear that in mind for the exam, Eagle. The less hesitation, the better when it comes to part 2.
Okay, actually I didn't have any idea about this kind of topic.
Yeah, a lot of it will depend on the topic, but I mean, there was some really good vocabulary you were using related to the topic. So that on that level, you were doing well. And like I say, the pronunciation was very accurate as well. So that's the thing I just think, just beware of. The topic, it will depend a bit on the topic, but you may get a topic that you are not necessarily comfortable with. And so you have to, that's why you've got that minute to prepare, just to kind of give you time to write ideas. And you can invent things as well. So Sophia's asking in the chat, can we make up a story? Yes, of course you can. The examiner doesn't know if it's true or not, so you can invent whatever you want to invent. The point is to demonstrate that fluency, as well as obviously the things you were doing, which was the good use of vocabulary and pronunciation.
Okay.
But yeah, good. Thank you very much, Eagle.
Thank you.
Yeah, best of luck in your exam next week.
Thank
I hope
you.
you get over the line.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thanks very much. Okay, so we're going to move on to do some more practice just shortly. Before we do, just to make those aware who are watching us live on YouTube or Facebook, that you can join us at the IELTS Scholarship Program here at Swoosh and Connetics. We are supporting nurses to achieve their dreams of living and working in the USA. So if that's your goal and ambition, then do find out how we can help you in doing this by clicking on the link for the IELTS Scholarship Program. You can see that on my screen, and also the link will be shared in the chat box. Click on that to find out more information and see how we could provide you with all of this support, potentially for free. Okay, so I'm going to bring Alice into the class next to do some practice. We have a final question for part 2, so let me bring her in now. Hello, Alice.
Yes, Alex.
Hi, how are you this week?
Very well, thank you.
Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yes.
Have you got your IELTS test booked soon?
Alex, I think I'm a bit hesitant because I'm not doing very well in reading.
Okay, okay.
So I am still working on the gray areas.
Fair enough. You're waiting until you. It's better to wait until you feel like you're ready than to go in there and be disappointed. So I understand that. Are you getting closer, Alice? Are you moving closer to that?
I think so.
You're waiting until you. It's good. You can monitor it with reading, can't you? Because when you're doing your practice, you can see: are you getting more answers correct? Are you speeding up your time in terms of being able to answer the questions more quickly? So you can sort of see that progression, hopefully.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Well, today obviously we're looking at speaking. So can you see the topic on the screen?
Yes, I can see the one for a friend.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so Alice, you've got a minute to prepare some ideas on this topic, and then you should speak for up to 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, Alice, are you ready to begin?
Yes, I am.
Brilliant. Okay, so please tell me a time when you helped a friend.
Well, I was discussing about this topic with a friend today, and a while back this afternoon, I was able to assist a colleague who needed the spouse to get vaccinated. And for some reason, I directed them to one of the hospitals in the main town where I live. After having talked to one of the nurses who had promised and assured me that if anyone was to proceed to that place, they would get vaccinated. Unfortunately, when my friend went to that place, she found out that the vaccine was over, and she was actually disappointed. I had to follow up and call the hospital just to understand whether it was possible to assist the spouse. Unfortunately, I learned that the doses that they had ordered were over. So I had to call a new friend, or rather another colleague, who was very helpful. And I had to direct them to go to another place whereby it was not very far away. And within 1 hour, they actually managed to get the vaccine. This made me quite happy because I always appreciate or feel great whenever I'm able to make a difference in someone's life, and especially when it comes to matters of health, which actually is what I am trained to do. And I remember when she called me back to let me know that the husband got the vaccine, she was very elated and she couldn't hide her joy. She actually was shouting. And this made me realize that sometimes doing networking or having network is very important.
Thank you very much, Alice. Thank you. That's great. Good. So I'm always intrigued when I listen to you do part 2 as to whether it's true or whether it's invented, because you're very good at inventing details, I've noticed.
No, for some reason, this actually happened today. By the way, today I've actually been able to assist 2 guys to get vaccinated, and I would say it's something that has really made my day.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great. So it was a situation then where the question was perfect for the experience that you'd recently had. That's always a nice coincidence. Serendipity is the word we use when we have a happy coincidence.
Yes.
So that was great. Yeah. So some really good stuff there, Alice. One thing I want to focus on is your use of more advanced grammar, which was great to hear. So I like the fact you're using conditional forms. So you said if he or she, I can't remember which, if he or she was to proceed, they would get vaccinated. So that was a good use, correct grammatical use of the second conditional, which was great. Also nice use of the past perfect. You know, they had ordered the vaccine and so were able to receive it. So you get a lot of credit there for grammar because you're using a wide variety of forms, which was great to see. Also, yeah, you know, some nice use of vocabulary as usual. Elated, nice expressions. You said, you know, whenever I'm able to make a difference, a nice expression. Couldn't hide her joy was also a nice expression. So yeah, so good use of vocabulary as well. Passive forms, get vaccinated as well. So correct use of the passive again, just showing that grammatical range. One expression, so you said the vaccine was over. One expression we could use, which would be slightly more natural, is that they'd run out of vaccine, is an expression we could use there.
Run out.
To run out, yeah. So
thank you.
There you go. Yeah, it's just a phrasal verb that we often use in that context. We've run out. Yeah, there's no more left. There's no vaccine left, or they've run out of vaccine. But yeah, and also you use connect as well in most cases. But one stage you said whereby it was not very far away, I think was the center where they were going to get vaccinated. So instead of whereby, it would be which, you know, which wasn't very far away. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. Yeah, whereby is like in the way that, you know, so whereby we could help someone. But yeah, aside from that, some really good stuff, Alice. I mean, this is just a really small point. So you speak in a really clear way. Your pronunciation is very clear. Your intonation is very easy to follow. I just wonder whether with part 2, and I think I've said this before, you could increase the pace just slightly, just because obviously within those 2 minutes, if you're able to speak just slightly more quickly, you would be able to show even more variety in vocabulary, and you'd be able to demonstrate as well some more sort of linking features in terms of like pronunciation. So it's just something to reflect. Like I say, I think going into the exam, you're still going to get a very high score with speaking, but something just maybe to reflect on, and it is with part 2 because of the fact that it's only you speaking. You know, it does sort of highlight itself more if your pace is just slightly slower than average.
Alex, I'm not sure about this because I have come a long way, because initially I used to talk very fast. I'm sure you can remember. But I think along the way I have been able to kind of slow down. So I'm not sure whether I have overslowed. I used to talk very fast because I'm a fast talker.
And you've purposely slowed down. Yeah, yes. I think there's a balance. There's a balance to be struck. So I don't think you need to change very much. Just just slightly. It's just, yeah, because the way that you're speaking is almost as if it's rehearsed, which obviously it's not possible to rehearse it because you don't have a minute's not long enough to rehearse. So yeah, it just sounds as if it's like, it almost seems as if like you've pre-prepared, which is in a way is good because it just, it shows how accurate your language is. But yeah, it's just a small point. Just try maybe slightly faster. So maybe the next time we do it, just slightly faster, not much, just a little bit.
Okay.
I just think it would just sound a little bit more conversational, because that's the idea for part 2. It should sound as natural and as conversational as possible. But yeah, give it a try.
Okay.
See how it goes.
I will.
But yeah, okay. Thank you
you
very much, Alice. Thanks. Take care.
Oh, bye. Thank you.
Bye. Okay, so we're going to move on to have a look at part 3. Dorina says that she's ready for the test. I agree, definitely in speaking. She is ready for the test, really strong. And Sophia, where is she from? Alice, well, you can ask her directly, Sophia. So Alice, if you want to share in the comments, you can provide that information if you desire. Is too slow good? Well, it should be a balance. We don't want to speak too quickly, because if we speak too quickly, then it's going to be harder for the examiner to follow us. We might have issues with pronunciation. But if we speak too slowly, it can sound a bit unnatural as well. And it could seem as well as if the level of fluency is slightly lower. So we want to speak at a natural pace, not too quickly, not too slowly, kind of how I'm speaking now, just how we would speak to someone in a normal situation. Because if I speak too slowly, I will not be able to say as much as if I spoke at a more natural pace. For example, yeah, if I slow it down, then I'll be able to communicate less information. But obviously, if I speak too quickly, then it makes it more difficult to people to understand. So yeah, a natural pace is key. Let's continue. I'm going to bring Jessie into the class now. Are you there, Jessie?
Hello, Alex. I'm there with you always.
Hi. Good to have you, Jessie. How have you been this week?
Yeah, it was great. I was busy in the hospital, but then, yeah, I make it to a point that I should come every Friday and I should attend your class.
Fantastic. I remember you saying, and yeah, and it's good to see you consistently getting involved. So yeah, brilliant stuff. Let's have a look, Jessie, then at part 3. I'm going to move on to part 3 now, and we're going to go back to the topic of writing/reading. So just a quick review for those who are less familiar with the speaking exam. A quick review of part 3. This section will usually last between 4 to 5 minutes in the exam. The topic will be linked to that of part 2. The questions will be more abstract, though. So you should be prepared to structure your answers, provide opinions, and to explain or justify your opinions as well. Okay. So, Jessie, the first question I'd like to ask you is, in your opinion, what kind of qualities do you think a writer should have?
Well, it's an interesting question because I'm not a writer and I don't write a lot. But having said that, there are some very good qualities they should have. That is, if they are writing a book or a novel, they should have the content. What they write should be precise and should be readable. Means people should understand what they write. What they read, and also they should give their opinions, for example, or some examples, and also they should give some conclusion. So yeah, it depends upon what they write. Suppose they are writing a fiction non-fiction book, the theme of the story also should be it should the person who reads the story should be interested in reading the book.
Okay. And in your country, is becoming a writer a good opportunity?
I don't think so. No, it is not that a very good opportunity for my countrymen to become a good writer, because there is no scope. People nowadays like to read online. They like to read ebooks. So to be a writer is a good way. But then, if he has to sell his books, I don't think there is much I sail for his books, because uh, n- as we see recent days, people are not too much of reading. They like to see video games, and they like to see read. I mean, to see the television more than reading. So the reading has decreased compared to the past. So yeah, there is,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you think that people should read more often than they do?
Yes, I personally think that people should read. It is because when you read, it develops lots of skill, especially when you read loudly, you listen to your own voice. And when you listen, that means you know what you're speaking, and the listening skill, and as well as the when you speak, you know that yes, when I read, the vocabulary also increases. So people should indulge themselves to reading more uh, than playing video games or just watching television. uh, those leisure time activities, I remember during my pastime, during the days of my childhood, was only reading and nothing else. But now I see that people are not so interested in reading.
Okay, thank you very much for those responses, Jesse. That was really good. Um, uh, you developed on those questions really nicely. You provided reasons for your opinions, clear opinions initially, and then reasons for them. They were logical. And we've got questions here about pace as well. So this was, a very nice pace, because it was a natural pace. You were able to develop on what you were saying. I was able to follow you without difficulties. It wasn't too quick, but there wasn't any hesitation. The pace of it was very natural. So that was great. I liked your caveat at the beginning of the first question when you said that you're not a writer, but and then you gave your opinion. So that's exactly how we should approach part 3. We don't have to be experts. We're not expected to be experts, but we just give our opinions based upon our knowledge and experience. And that's what you were doing there. So that was a really good way to begin your response to that question. Nice use of vocabulary, precise, readable was great. The way that you were hedging as well, so you're providing extra detail. It depends on what they write, whether it's fiction, non-fiction. So yeah, really good ways of developing and showing logic in your responses. There were just a few slips in terms of some vocabulary, Jesse. So you said there's not much sale for his books. So the way that would be expressed would be slightly different. So you would say, not many people buy books, or books don't enjoy high volumes of sales. Different ways of expressing it. So yeah, the expression there wasn't quite natural. Or not many books are sold. We could use the passive voice in this context as well. The idea was clear, but yeah, it was just the expression. And also see television. So watch is the collocation. Yeah,
Right.
watch television.
Yeah.
Good. And then just a final one, you said people should indulge themselves to reading more. So indulge is usually used for an activity which we do for enjoyment, which maybe we're doing too much of. So because you're saying that reading is a useful activity, engage would be a better one. They should engage in reading more often. They should take up reading. Or they should spend more time reading. Yeah, indulge is the sort of thing. Maybe we might say people indulge themselves by playing video games for 6 hours a day. Something that they enjoy, but maybe they do too much of would be for indulge. But
So,
yeah,
Alex, I just wanted to tell you, it is all because of you. I started learning a lot, and my vocabulary
great.
yeah, yeah. Because you remember initial stage, my vocabulary was not that good, and used to keep
Mm.
correcting me. But then
Yeah,
it is must be persistent. I'm coming here every Friday, and I will definitely till my exam. I will keep coming every Friday. But you are,
brilliant.
yeah, too good. You are the best.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jesse. And because you've put in the time and the effort, you've done what you needed to do in order to make those improvements. So yeah, it is. It's something that I've noticed as we've been doing practice, that you've become more fluent. You're making fewer errors. So yeah, are you looking at booking your exam?
after 2 months, because my reading and my writing. See, I don't want to repeat. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
To
just
have to
repeat.
resit. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I want to. If anyone tells me yes, you are ready for your exam, like any of the examiner, I will come back to Swish and I'll ask them whether I'm ready or not, because my writing also, I just
Yeah.
want to submit writings, and once they tell okay, you're done with it, then I will definitely write.
Fantastic. Okay, well done for all the effort you've put in so far, Jesse, and keep on doing it. You will get there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much there, Jesse. So yeah, Sophia, you don't see her live. Yeah, so students they have the option of turning on their cameras if they wish to do so. So that's up to the students, really. But yeah, that'll be why you've not seen them live. Okay, so we've got time for one more speaker to do some practice with today. So I'm going to bring Jeremiah into the class. Hi there, Jeremiah.
Hello, hi. Can you?
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello. I'm good. I'm
Good,
great.
good. Glad to hear it. You've participated in this class before, have you not?
Yes, I did once, but
I thought
after that,
so.
yes.
Yeah, maybe a few months ago.
Yes. I think 2 months ago.
2 months. Yeah, I thought I recognized you.
Yes.
And how are you doing? How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to learn as much as I can,
Brilliant.
but I think I need more improvement.
Okay. Well, we'll do some practice today, Jeremiah, and look to move towards that goal. So Eric has just asked a question. Speed. Yeah, Eric, your speed, your fluency was at a natural level. I thought that was a strength of your speaking. Okay, so let's have a look at a different topic
Okay.
together, Jeremiah.
I hope.
Sorry?
Okay.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Yes, I can.
Brilliant. Okay, so
I'm
we're
a
going to go
little
back. Is there a delay there?
Okay.
Sorry, I think there was a slight
I'm
delay.
sorry.
Could
It's
you say that again?
yellow. I'm looking for a better connection rate. Maybe I
Okay.
will move around.
Okay.
How about now?
Hopefully now, yeah. I think it's just a slight delay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Will be a problem. Or I
No,
will try.
yeah, I think we'll be okay. So let's see how we do anyway. So the first question that I have for you, Jeremiah, what kinds of items do families normally keep for many generations?
Well, I would say that the items or the things that the family usually treasure is a photograph. As like my family, we had a lot of photograph keep or keep and treasured for many generations, and sometimes some heirlooms from the grandmother, who for example as the jewelries. We keep a lot of antique also that will keep our memories.
And do you think there are differences between the things that people value now compared to the things people valued in the past?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure about that. But I think people nowadays give more importance in the material things compared to the last generation. Because I think people nowadays were really into something that they want to use every day. For instance, the cell phones or the laptops. However, it's in the past, people tend to have a more give more importance to the intangible things like honor or respect, or something that they will flaunt in the next generation.
Do you think that some people have too many items?
Yes, some people love to collect things, and they tend to hoard a lot of items because I think it give them some satisfaction or happiness. However, there should be a limitation, especially if you are becoming really fanatic of something and you forgot the most important thing, which is the more on not material things.
And finally, in what ways has technology reduced the amount of items we need to have?
Well, I think because nowadays, one items or one gadget can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of multitasking. For instance, before you need a set of cell phones and then laptops. But when nowadays, because of this development of technology, a cell phone can do a lot of things. Like you can do your work, or you can do studies, you can search up anything that we can only do before with the use of our laptops.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much there, Jeremiah.
Oh my god.
Darina
Okay, I
likes
can
it.
do it now.
Yeah, you can relax now, yeah. So, yeah, some really good stuff there, Jeremiah. I thought what was particularly good was your use of vocabulary. Some really nice words you're using there. So, heirlooms, that was really nice. Just be careful about the pronunciation, actually. I wasn't sure if you said heirlooms or heirlooms.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's a silent H, but yeah, but a really nice word, heirlooms. Also, intangible, lovely word that you use there, intangible things. Hoard, you said people tend to hoard, another great vocabulary item there. So yeah, so you're using some really nice words, much less common vocabulary items, and you're using them really appropriately as well in the correct context. So that was great. Yeah, and also there was some nice use of expressions. So tend to was good. Yeah, multitasking was another nice expression. Your responses to the questions were logical and clear, particularly to the first few questions. The final question when we were talking about how technology has reduced the amount of items you needed. I followed most of what you're saying. So with the technology, we can do a lot of things on our cell phones. But then with the laptops, were you saying that before we use the laptops or now we use the laptops?
Okay, okay.
I wasn't, yeah, I just
How
wasn't
about,
sure at the end. Yeah.
okay, how about the speed, how the speed of my speaking? Is it
Okay, good
a
question.
little bit slow,
A good
or do I
question. Yeah,
need?
just slightly, just slightly. So I didn't think so. Similar to what I was saying to Alice, just slightly. Just some sort of pauses in between what you're saying. With part 3, it doesn't stand out as much. It's not as noticeable because obviously the responses aren't as long as they are with part 2. But yeah, there were a few moments where I thought maybe just a slightly quicker speed would show improvement in fluency, but only slightly. Yeah, there wasn't any extended hesitation in your speaking. So it was a strength, but yeah, it could be just slightly quicker, and I think you'd get an even higher score for fluency if it was. Countable, uncountable. So we've got another example. You said jewelries, but jewelry is actually uncountable. So there's another one to
Yeah.
add to the list.
Okay, yes, thank you for
Yeah.
pointing it out.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's I had to point that one out, obviously, with the beginning of the class being as it was. But yeah, and then just a final point. So there's a nice use of uncountable nouns. You said it gives them some satisfaction. So satisfaction is also uncountable. You use some satisfaction. So yeah, that was a nice correct usage there of uncountable nouns. Although you did say it give them, because it was it should be gives. So just note that with the verb form. But yeah, so lots of strengths there, Jeremiah. But yeah, just I think it's some of the grammatical slips are just things to look at. Actually, one other point I didn't mention, you said a lot of photograph. Photograph obviously is countable, so photographs. So yeah, just some of the grammatical slips, but some really good use of vocabulary in there. And also intelligibility, pronunciation was strong too.
Okay, thank you, Alex.
Okay, thank you very
It gives
much.
me some confidence because I'm really have a low self-esteem regarding to how I speak English.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. You should have confidence, Jeremiah. So yeah, I'm glad that you feel confident, and well done for getting involved as well in the speaking practice, because it can be difficult when we don't feel confident. But yeah, you're doing all the right things, Jeremiah. So well done.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Alex.
thank you. Okay, so thank you to all those who've participated today. And we will be back again next week to do some more practice. Just before we finish, I would like to make those who are watching us live on YouTube and Facebook aware of the IELTS Scholarship Program. You can join us directly for extra support and guidance towards achieving your goal of living and working as a nurse in the USA. So if that is your goal, if that's something that you are striving to achieve, then do click on the link which you can see on the screen at the moment in order to get more information and potentially to receive all of this support for free. So once again, thank you for those who have been involved in the class today, both live in the class and also watching us online. Your participation is what makes these classes of value. So I look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, take care.